Good morning, student. As in continuation with chapter number 1, today we are going to discuss about psychology and other discipline. It means how psychology as a subject is related to other discipline. So children, any discipline which is related to human beings or studies on human behavior. So in all the discipline mentioned below, the use of psychology can be seen. So children, if I ask you how neurology is related to psychology, as you know, the major role that is played by the neurologist is to know the different functioning of the human brain. Children, as we know that the brain is an important part of psychology, so it is correlated with the psychology as a subject. Now secondly, physiology as related to the physical changes. So children, under the branch called development psychology, we have discussed about how the changes take place in an individual. So we have discussed about the changes take place, physiology as well as psychological changes also take place. So children, if you notice that under this we study about human behavior as well as about mental process. Similarly, the major subject of psychology basically deals with the human behavior and mental process. So it is correlated with physiology also. Now thirdly, we are talking about the biology. You must have noticed that in psychology, along with the brain function, psychologist also studies about the biological function. So biological function means which take place inside our body. For example, the change in hormone. So children, when hormonal changes take place, our behavior also get affected. For example, in adolescence, you must have noticed that mood swings is quite often. So children, if you notice that mood swings take place due to the hormonal changes, and hormonal changes take place due to the biological changes. So children, due to biological changes, the changes can be seen on human behavior. So human behavior is also dealing with the psychology. So this is how biology and psychology are correlated with one another. Now talking about the fourth, that is computer. So children, as we have discussed earlier also, that the computer functions are compared with the brain function of an individual. So brain function is like a function of a computer in which memory, the first information is received and transformed, and after the transformation the information is stored. So it is on the basis of the brain function. So children, all these terminologies are taken by the computer science as a subject. So children, nowadays the use of computer is largely increasing in each and every field. So it is correlated with psychology also. Now coming to the fifth, that is philosophy. Children, if I ask you what is the major work of philosophy, the major work of the philosophy is to find the reason of our existence, or what is the goal of a human life. So philosophy studies the different domains of the human life that has the connection to know why humans behave in this particular manner. So different theories have been developed by the different physiologists, philosophy. So children, philosophy as a subject tries to develop theories on human behavior. So psychology has emerged from philosophy only, as it's dealing with the human behavior. Now coming to the sixth, that is economics. So children, if I ask you what is the major use of psychology in economics, so many of you would answer that in economics as a subject, we study about consumer behavior. We focus more on marketing. Which type of scheme should we take out that would attract human behavior? And as we know, this human behavior is also a part of psychology. So this is also, as a discipline, has a relation with psychology. Now coming to the next, that is law and criminology. So children, as you know, criminology as a subject deals with the behavior which is not acceptable. So if you need to study on criminology in which you want to know why did he or she indulge in such activities. So children, a person who indulge in such activities, so researches have been done by the different psychologists. So here also the psychology has a connection with law and criminology. Now if we talk about law, play an important role in determining the punishment so that the action or activities of the human being which is not appropriate should be not repeated again. So law as and criminology tend to control the human behavior. Under this we are talking about the human behavior. So similarly it has also the correlation with the psychology. As a subject, psychology is also dealing with the human behavior. Now, so children, mass communication means a communication that takes place to a large people, TV or through the different modalities of the technology. So children, in TV you must have noticed that products are sold through communication. So those people just not only speak about the product, but to a large extent advertisement is made what will please human behavior or what will attract human behavior. So they make use of different slogan that is eye catching, and also put different types of policies. So children, all these efforts are made in order to have influence on the human behavior. So it is how it is related to the psychology. So children, in all these disciplines we have talked about human behavior, mental process. So this is how it is linked with the different subject. So children, this is how psychology is related to other discipline.